Marker reads him.
Absolutely, but we're getting to this game number 1 over on the small fortress of Lions, and let's see how things go out to begin with. Already, Acno able to get that sidelight, but no follow-up.
Oh no.
And are we... Okay. Acno able to scrounge his way back on stage, but no, wait, once again, Marker is pushing him further and further off stage. The damage is already being built so quickly, only
Oh my God.
seconds in, and Acno just went for a whole Hail Mary there. I cannot even believe he got back on stage. Tries to get a ground... get the ground pound instead to try and push his opponent farther off stage, but instead... he's able to make it back on, and now he's actually putting Marker in the blender with multiple nairs. This is actually a bit closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought for sure Acno's stock was gone after that missed ground pound.
Yeah, it looks like an absolutely unbelievable move, something that nobody should ever be going for and getting away with. But Acno is so aware of his options, so aware of what he has to work with off stage, and yet he just cannot connect the hits. Marker just gets the cider, cleans it up, but Acno had so many chances there. As you said, he kept going for stuff off stage, not quite connecting, but it's just putting pressure on Marker, telling him that he's fine with fighting off stage. He doesn't mind it, and he's gonna take it to him.
Yep. Now let's see, can Marker get these big strings? That's exactly what he's going to need on this scythe to make it worth its while. But no, Acno able to get a recovery. Not KOing yet, though. Tries to throw in Insig, but that's going to be an easy D-Light into the recovery to confirm the KO. And I'm assuming he's going to be sticking to those blasters? No, actually. It's going to be a bow game right now. Okay, so let's see what he's able to do with it. Obviously, he's going to be looking for a lot of D-Light combos. Try and get those early KOs with the D-Light into the Insig, maybe. A good call out like that will have a lot of force and potentially lead to an early KO. So I'm assuming that's what he's going to be looking for, as bow is really, really hard to KO with. So let's see what he can do. Gets a nice little string. Double recovery right there. That's actually going to push things close and closer to even. Oh.
The thing is, it does not matter how hard it is for you to KO if you just don't let your opponent hit you.
That is true.
And Acno currently not taking a lick of damage, barely takes a sidelight, I believe. Goes for the down air since he's too far to get the ground pound in time. Would have been a true combo. Acno notices that, doesn't have the KO option available to him, and he's in a bit of a pickle right now. Only has a recovery, I'm pretty sure. Yep, gets it out of him. Marker gets it out, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, Acno has a dodge, but nowhere near being able to come back with that. Marker, nice little reversal there off the left side. Gets a stock, gets a lead. He's looking to get back into the game.
I respect the attempt that Acno went for there with that GC side sig. You know, if Marker was going to be dumb and try and dip himself down below where he shouldn't have gone, he was like, okay, that'll be an easy punish. But no, Marker a little bit smarter than that. And right now, he's actually putting Acno in the blender, getting a huge combo, weapon throw, not able to connect, but he's just gone. Oh my goodness. Like, that was such a... I don't even think that was broken since the start of that combo. It was like literally a 0 to death, but it was just super long, so I don't know if it can be considered one, but still, an amazing showing from our Marker's side right there, and that's exactly what Acno's got to look out for if he wants to win this. But yeah, looks like they're going right back into it. No swaps.
Absolutely incredible. Phrases work smarter, not harder, but Marker went so hard there that I think I'm going to excuse him for that one. Unbelievable trunks there. But we're coming in back against Small Fortress of Lands seems to be the dominant stage of choice for these EU players. And Marker once again just starting out on the sides, getting a nice couple of hits. Acno looking to fire back with the blasters, not getting quite the connections that he's looking for. Recovery not quite there, and Marker dodges through that D-Light. So nice. Acno looking for a GC, but not quite there either. Marker just weaving, dodging, ducking, bobbing in between and underneath these moves. And he's just so clean with it. Gets to there again, pushes him off stage again. Acno just cannot touch solid ground. This is exactly what we saw from Blaze in the previous set.
Yep, Marker's scythe is on fire right now. As you can see, he's swapping over to it and keeping himself on it. He's been really good at edge guarding Acno. And yeah, he doesn't really have a response right now. As you can see, dipping off stage to try and get a bit of an extension. That would have been really dangerous for Acno, but thankfully for him, able to find himself back on stage. Now, fighting for some sort of KO attack. Obviously, is really far from it, but if he can get a Sig, then maybe, just maybe, he'll have that chance. That's what makes Diana so dangerous, are the large force on those signatures. So that's what he's looking for right now. Able to get himself a D-Light into recovery. That'll disarm Marker, but not do much else, and he's still looking for a KO, and every little bit of damage that Marker is able to get is just exponentially more for him. As you can see, oh my goodness, what an extension off the platform, almost getting that insig as well. Acno is struggling right now, able to get a recovery, but it's still not enough because it's just a little bit too low below the stage. I mean, this is just looking worse and worse for Acno.
Absolutely, but if any player has the resilience to come back from a deficit, it's Acno. He is stone cold. Never seen him shaken up, never seen him falter. Even if he's losing, he's just so composed and cool. He knows exactly what he can and can't go for. And he's just trying to figure out Marker right now, delaying as much as he can, giving himself time to compose himself, but that's gonna cost him. Exclamation marks come out, and Marker gets the end light. Acno messing up a bit on his recovery there. He's just trying to reset here, but Marker just doesn't give him a chance, just going straight back at him. Down air, Cider connects, down air again, dodges through the down light, but it's so much damage piled on already. Last stock for Acno in this game, and he's just not getting anything back. Marker gets hit after hit after hit. He's going at him unarmed. He's looking for the ground pound. Bo can KO you at yellow. He doesn't even care.
The dodge through, it was looking like it was going to work, but the back end of the hitbox was able to connect, and Marker getting that exponential amount of damage. Oh, I don't know. Okay,
finally.
that instinct, that could turn things around a little bit, but no, instead the spike against the stage getting trampolined off that little edge, or whatever you might want to call that. And that's just going to be, yeah, that little angle, and that's going to be Marker taking this 2-0 in the set. Now, Acno on tournament point. This is it for him. And oh, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you won't be able to see this yet, but we actually have Acno swapping over to the Vivi or the Mega Man.
Mega Man crossover in play. Boots swapped in for that bow. Clearly wasn't working out for him too great. Decides to swap it over, but the blasters weren't even great either. Like, Acno just was not finding any footing in that game. Let's see if this Mega Man swap will be what gets him back into this game, because he currently needs to reverse 3-0 Marker.
Yep, that's not going to be easy. And honestly, I don't know if Mega Man was the option, at least against the Scythe. You know, I know that one of the hardest matchups for Boots is that Scythe, if not the hardest. So I guess if he's against the Orb, then maybe he can make something work. So far, it's kind of actually working in his favor, and able to get a ground pound, 2 ground pounds now. Let's see, he gets a D-Light into the Nair, but not able to get the recovery follow-up, but that will be a Sair follow-up after that D-Light, confirming the stock, and actually is looking rather good for Acno now. He's sticking onto the Boots. You know, he's like, blasters, even though being a better weapon as far as a meta standpoint goes, he knows that it's been doing well for him, so might as well stick to what's been working.
There it is. As I said, Acno, one of the most resilient players in Brawlhalla, looking for that tempo change up, I believe. That's the reason that he picked up these boots. I don't know what that ground pound was. No idea. I'm not a battle boots expert, so don't quote me on that one. But Acno, and once again, just speeding up this game, just going at Marker. He knows that he has the stock advantage. He knows that he can push this lead. Even if it takes some damage, anything that he can put out onto Marker is gonna hurt twice as much. And he's just looking for the damage. Cider after Cider. Marker connects one of his own, but the DC connects as well. Sidesig not gonna get it, but the DC downlight puts out a threat, defends himself from any possible retaliation that Marker might provide, and he's just getting pushed off further and further. The N6 secures it. 3-1.
Flame Sword just reaching into the sky right there, giving Marker an early KO. And now it's actually 3 stocks to 1. This is looking like a completely different set right now. You would never guess that it's actually 2-0 in Marker's favor right now. I guess the Vivi Battle Boots is exactly what he needed to turn things around. Why he didn't do so earlier, I'm not sure. But either way, all that matters is that he's doing it now. Marker trying to find a way to fight back and is able to, now doing some footsies on the platform. He's like, see, I'm warmed up. We're not doubting that you're warmed up, Marker, but we are doubting that you can take this game right now, because Acno has been on an absolute tear with these battle boots. Let's see what he can do. Now he's on the Scythe. Like I said, this is definitely the bigger counter, but I don't know if it's actually doing anything. Marker still getting pieced up by that 3-piece on the boots. That's gonna be some more damage with the Nair to the recovery. Acno, it's going crazy right now.
Yep, Sidesig there connects again. D-Sig, Marker just getting red. It's not even a dodge, it's just his movement by itself that Acno has just got a perfect read on. He can read his soul. And that's the D-Sig connecting again! Good God.
That's exactly what Vivi was, you know, so notorious for before her nerf. people could just rip these D-Sigs, and it was like that little extra hitbox that you gain when you go to a certain side can catch people off guard, and that's exactly what happened there. You'll be able to see it in the replay, but yeah, just like that, you saw the dip to the right was what gave that extra hitbox in that direction, and I completely took the stock. So that just shows how dangerous that D-Sig is, even after the nerfs that received. It's just such a dangerous SIG, so Marker's going to have to find a way to fight around it, but now things are 2-1, still in Marker's favor, so he's still got quite a bit of room to work with, but acno, after such a strong showing, it actually might be a little bit closer than we expected.
As I said, acno is the guy. He is that guy. You can never be sure against him because he can turn any game, any set, any stock, anything on its head and just can go completely ballistic. As I said, the pace change going into the battle boots from the bow is insane from him. Just getting that, closer range, faster weapon, gets those hitboxes out, puts Marker under so much pressure, and it's just a matter of pace change. I think Marker will need to adapt. He does have one more game. He does have one more game of room. He can afford to lose this next one, but he needs to find the adaptation to take down acno here, because right now it's looking like a blowout the other direction.
That's right. And I really don't know if Marker has like a backup pick. I've only really seen him on this Fate. So if it were to go 2-2, I'm not sure if Marker would swap off the Fate. I think it would just be kind of like a GG go next into the Fate once again. And I mean, as we saw, Acno seemed to have an answer to pretty much everything that Marker was doing. So I don't know. It really, like I said, could be closer than we were expecting. But we do know that Marker has quite a bit of adaptation up his sleeve. So if he's able to bring it back, I think he could do it. But still, Acno, a great showing so far. And I guess the Mega Man really was the answer, the key to the lock. I'm not sure.
I do believe that Marker has a Mordax pick somewhere in there. I mean, you can never write off the Mordax for any Scythe player. I'm pretty sure that all of them have him 25 at least.
That's true.
So that's definitely a potential pick that he could go for. But I don't know what the Gauntlets are going to do for him in this situation, because the Orb is really where he's been finding his home. The Scythe has been doing work for him in the set. It did do a decent amount in his previous one, even though he did lose that. But it's really the Orb here that's the main force behind Marker right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And like I said, I really am kind of surprised by that, because the Scythe does counter Battle Boots. I mean, it's got that extra range, that Battle Boots does not have. It comes out pretty quick, just like Battle Boots do. So I really feel like the Scythe should be countering it, but I guess Acno's just got some sort of playstyle up his sleeve, able to counter out those attacks. And then the Orb is just kind of like an even matchup, I think. I don't think it really bends one way or the other. So really just comes down to Acno's skill on those Battle Boots, and he knows not to meddle with the blasters. He's kind of taking his time. He's like, okay, listen, I know the blasters are really, really good, but if I can't win with them, I can't win with them. And we saw on the Diana, there was basically no answer with those blasters. So he's like, Battle Boots, that's the way to go. And clearly in that game 3, that's exactly what he did. So I'm assuming in these next few games, it's going to be a similar Battle Boots show from Acno.
Yeah, and I think the blasters are only really there as a threat. Is like, I could swap to these anytime I want, and I would slow down the game, and you would be thrown off once again by the change of pace that I can bring to this game. And that's really all there is to it. Marker, I don't even know if the Scythe came into play really in that last game. I think he was just kind of being kept on the Orb by Acno constantly applying pressure, not letting him pick his weapons or pick his battles the way that he would like to.
Yeah. And we'll see if that trend continues. Now finally getting into game number 4. Still back on the Small Fortress Alliance. As we've seen, they love having that one platform. Can't say I blame them, though I would like to see other maps, because literally this entire casting block that we've done, it's literally just been Small Fortress Alliance and then like 2 Small Worlds ends. So maybe at some point someone can switch things up, but we'll see. For now, we've got this map, and we've got a pretty even situation. Marker able to get himself a sidelight Sarah to push things truly into the even. And we see Acno swapping over to the Battle Boots after getting a little bit of damage over on those blasters.
A little bit, he's in red!
Oh, you're right, yeah, that's true. And wow, that actually KOs. I'm shocked that I was able to KO from the middle of the stage, but no, Acno able to get himself an early stock, and here we go. Marker still on the back foot.
Yep. Once again, looking to apply pressure with the boots, but the Scythe is coming into play. As you said, bit of a tough matchup for the battle boots. The down air gonna connect, and I don't think that's gonna be much more for Acno to do with the Sock. Keeping up with the Scythe, I'm pretty sure. Yep, stays on it, absolutely. Does Acno have the boost in rotation? Yes, he does. And that's gonna be a bit of a tough play again, as he gets pulled off stage. Looking to fight back here, but not finding too much. Bit of a slowdown here in this game. Gets a bit of a call out there from Marker.
But he missed, or unless that was just a read gone bad. But yeah, it seems like there could have been more damage on Marker's part. Still though, he is able to nag the lead with that little Scythe string. And now Acno's got to be able to figure out how he can get himself more damage, because obviously boots don't really do that much damage compared to most weapons. So he's got to get these big strings if he wants a chance of winning. Able to get an end light to push Marker off stage, but he doesn't really get much more than that. And Marker's just taking his time, waiting for an option to come out. He knows he can punish it if he's given the chance. That's why he's kind of taking a back foot here, kind of taking his time. I respect it. Nice recovery. Now going up above Acno to try and get a down air. That's kind of it's been working really hard. As you know, there's not really any counter that Acno could throw out with these boots to counter those down airs. Ooh, D-Sig.
Looking for it. Acno needs to build up the damage here before he can go for that KO with a D-Sig. I feel like Marcus just got one up on him right now. Throws away the Scythe. That might be a disadvantage, but the Orb is the better KO potential weapon here. And that's going to be it for the stock. Cider confirms it. Back on the Scythe again. Marcus just cycling the weapons perfectly in his favor this time. Maybe that's what was missing last game. Maybe that's just the matchup that he needed to make sure that this works. Ask Acno finally in the blasters. Maybe even blaster, considering it's a Mega Man skin.
That is true.
But we'll see what he can do with it.
Reaching up into the skies of that recovery, very, very risky, but I understand why he went for it. Unfortunately, not going to get anything from it, but okay, nice extension there, able to get the side sig, and that will get the KO. Now, Acno's over on the blaster, and I just... Oh yeah, he throws it away. That's what I figured he's going to do. That blaster has not really been doing too good for him so far, so the boots is what he needs. And Marker is over on the orb. This is your time, Acno, to get these boots damages in, because as soon as he swaps over to the Scythe, it's going to be so much harder. And I know Marker is looking for it. As you can see, they're both taking their time. Marker doesn't want to go in because he doesn't want to get pieced up by the boots, as he just does right there. And then, of course, Acno doesn't want to get in because if he does whip an attack, that's basically going to be put in KO percentage with a side light side air. So he's really got to take his time and choose his spots carefully, or otherwise it might be lights out for Acno.
Yep, and there's a slowdown of pace that I was mentioning before. Acno knows that Marker's going to be a bit more wary around his boots now. He knows that he has the chance to take a big stock lead here, but no! Marker finishes it off and closes out the set.
Yep, 3-1.